Delivery drivers of Reddit. What are some standout moments? 1. A guy offered me weed. After I refused, he insisted on giving me something, so he opened a package of Nutter Butters. I grabbed a handful. They were good. 2. Walked into a giant skyscraper in central London to deliver a parcel for a guy named Thomas. At reception, I'm told he will be in his office, so I walk in and find him dancing by himself in the corner with no music or AirPods or anything. He's facing the corner just doing the Carlton, so he had no idea I was just standing and watching. I leave the room and just try to reevaluate what I just witnessed. When I walk back and he is standing behind a table acting like nothing just happened. So I hand him my parcel and he just thanks me and signs for it. I have never got a delivery from Thomas to this day. 3. I used to collect biohazard from doctors' offices, hospitals, and other places. I think people that work in funeral homes like to mess with the living. I saw way too many dead, naked bodies at that job. Did that job for 6 years, and then went back to slinging office supplies. I have not seen a dead body since. 4. I've got some good ones. And weird ones. The one stands out though. Bedridden grandma would order pizza from us randomly, and it only took a few trips there to know who was ordering what. Really nice house in a very upscale neighborhood. House worth close to $1 million now. First time delivering there. No one answered the door. Storm door was glass, and the front door was open. I knocked and rang the bell. I could hear someone yelling, sort of, but I was pretty used to that. Wait like 5 minutes and knock and ring again. No one shows, so I crack the storm door open and say pizza delivery, in a cheerful voice. I hear a voice down the hallway say, "Come on in, I'm back here." The hairs on my neck really stood on end. But when you deliver pie, this stuff happens. Looking around, I can tell they are a hoarder. They have trash and stuff everywhere. No place to sit in the living room. Kitchen is a wreck and I'm already getting serious nope vibes. I don't hear any animals, thank God. So I make my way down the hallway to the master bedroom. I can already tell this is going to be fucked. Bedridden grandma. Can't get up or really move. Room is wrecked beyond what I'd call a room. There was a stack of pizza boxes, and just trash everywhere around. I could smell feces. Obviously. Grandma says the money is on the counter there. Just leave the pizza on the nightstand and bring her the 2-liter of Sprite. Stepping over the garbage and stuff, I look around a bit and notice that there aren't bugs or roaches or anything. Most of the trash on her floor was food packaging, etc. She asks me if I see a cup around that's clean, and there isn't. Feeling horrible for this lady, I offer to go get her a cup from the kitchen, and she asks if I could get her some ice. Back to the kitchen, I have zero luck finding a cup that even resembles clean, so I snag a sponge and clean out a Burger King cup for her and top it off with ice. Walking back, she asks what I was doing. I told her I had to wash her a cup. She asks me to pour her a soda, and I do. Looking over by the side of her bed is a black garbage bag. I snag that and just grab a bunch of trash from her floor and fill the bag in about 2 minutes. Looking at the money, it's giving me a 1.80 tip or something really small and change, so I just snag what the cost was. She thanks me profusely, saying she's gonna call and compliment me to the manager. I thank her for her kind words. Walking out, I toss the bag of trash into the front room with the rest of the trash bags. There was no one else in the house that I could tell at the time, but obviously someone lived there as there were 2 other rooms, and the kitchen had definitely been used recently. I spoke with the police about her situation and they knew exactly who I was talking about. They told me she wasn't in danger. It's just a dirty place and her kids are slobs. This actually was a bit on an ongoing thing over that summer. I met a few disabled people in our delivery area, who typically would order during the day, and get either something super cheap like a 2-liter of soda and half a sub, or the pizza just to get the soda or vice versa. Usually they would ask for some small favor, like help with trash, help find a pet, etc. All the drivers knew them, almost by name, and would stiff me with these orders. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I did become friends with one of the guys I met who was bedridden. We played Xbox Live a lot. I sometimes think about these people and hope they are alright. I spent a couple of years taking care of my grandfather after he had a massive stroke, so I had empathy for these people. I had seen how life can stomp you down, and you never get a change to get back up. There was nothing like knowing I just helped someone out that couldn't help themselves. I have probably a good dozen or so stories that aren't as depressing though. 5. I used to deliver pizza. One time near end of shift, like near midnight on my last delivery, I had a random girl come running up to my car crying. She was quite young, like I was mid-20s, she was late teens or something. Anyway, she'd had an argument with a friend whose house she was at, and this friend had locked her out the house and stolen her phone, so she was basically stranded away from home at night with no way of calling. So I guess she was very lucky in my timing of arriving on that street to deliver a pizza. So she had asked me if I could help her. So I basically just gave this girl a lift home, who ironically lived right around the corner from the pizza place. So kind of chatted with her or whatever on the drive back, then just went our separate ways. To be honest, I didn't say much because I kinda don't know what to say to people when they're upset, especially if it has nothing to do with me. So I pretty much just let her talk about whatever had happened at her friend's house on the drive back. And you can tell it's not BS, because nothing sensational happened, and I just now realized the most interesting thing that happened to me when I used to deliver pizza wasn't actually that eventful. Basically just gave an upset stranded girl a lift home. 6. I went to a Wendy's to grab dinner for the family. It was hurricane winds and rain outside. Went inside to pick up my order, and a girl around my age was dry heaving, heavily crying, another female employee trying to comfort her. From what I could tell, she just finished her shift at Wendy's to find someone stole her bike, her only transportation. Now she has to walk home in a storm. I was walking out when I heard the situation, so I turned around and offered to drive her home. Immediately she stops crying and goes from sad to super angry, accusing me of trying to take advantage of her. The employee who was comforting her chimes in, saying how disgusting I was for preying on someone in need of help. I wasn't going to argue. Enjoy your walk home, lady. 7. One time, I delivered to this house super far away, like right on the edge of our delivery boundary. Due to the distance, it was my discretion if I wanted to deliver it or not, but I chose to. I take the order and hop in my car and take the delivery. Upon arrival, the customer noticed that one of the items are missing. Fuck. That's my bad. They decide they still want it now, so I hop in my car, drive all the way back to the store, cook and get the order completed, and then take it back to the customer's house. Give the item to the customer and turn around to leave. I knew they weren't going to be tipping me. Plot twist, I get back to my car, which is running in their driveway, and for the first and only time ever, my car door is locked, with the keys and my phone inside. I had to use the customer's phone to call a company to pop my lock. Not only did I waste 42 miles of round-trip gas, plus whatever was wasted for the 2 hours the car was running while in the driveway, but I didn't get tipped, and I paid $150 for some dude to put a balloon into my door and pop it open. Now I never leave a car running without having a window open enough for me to get back into the car. 8. One time I was delivering in the deep rural South, and I'm a smallish female, so I didn't exactly love delivering to dark, secluded areas. I pulled up to this one kind of shoddy duplex-looking thing one evening and was immediately on high alert. Even more so when I realize I have to go the backside of this small connected strip of duplexes to get to my destination. This guy opens the door and takes his food, but said he wanted to give me a tip, and he leaves the door slightly open. I was not fucking with the situation at all, but he came back 10 seconds later with a jar half filled with change. I told him it was okay, but he opens his front door all the way and I see multiple jars filled to different levels with coins sitting on his counter. Said thanks and left. And that change jar lasted me like a year and a half. I still have it sitting on my bed frame today. It's a nice jar and one of my more bizarre but harmless encounters from delivering lol. 9. This is one of my favorite random interactions from my time as a delivery driver for a Japanese restaurant. I was sent to this house with an order of a steak hibachi and a couple of sushi rolls that added up to being just shy of $20, like $19.60 or something. I like to call before I got to a place, just to give people a bit of a heads up. So by the time I got to the door, it was already open. In the doorway stood a chubby kid, about 9 or 10 years old, that reminded me a lot of the kid from Bad Santa, but without the curly hair. I tell him the total as I pass off his food. He hands me a $20 bill and with a straight face he smugly says, "Keep the change, pal." Immediately after, he closes the door and I stood there for a second trying to process what just happened. When I got back to my car, I noticed the time and realized it was way too early for that kid to be home from school. I couldn't help but laugh at the whole situation. I wasn't even mad at barely getting any tip because this kid probably faked being sick so he could stay from school and was probably in there watching TV or playing video games while eating sushi and feeling like a big shot. I know I would have at that age. 10. Within my first week doing Postmates back before it merged with Uber, I got an order for donuts and coffee from Dunkin' to go down the street to a hotel. Pick up the order and get there and try calling the guy to come get it because it's a hotel. No answer. I'm sure experienced people would have waited 5 minutes and then just take the food and left, but I was new and thought I would get banned for that. Tried to call another 2 or 3 times, no luck. Went inside and asked reception if such and such was staying here, and from some reason they actually gave me an answer and a room number, which is very weird now that I think about it, and a clear violation of privacy. I find the guy's hotel room. Keep in mind, it's been almost 20 minutes now since I first got there. Knocked on the guy's hotel room door and he clearly just woke up. He looks very confused, saying he did not order Postmates. So we verify information. Name check. Phone number check. Address clearly check. But his app has no order placed. He didn't want the food, so I left with it. I don't drink coffee, so I gave it a homeless guy I saw down the street, and a couple of donuts and some for myself. Pretty mundane story, I know, but still weird how I got an order he didn't place. TLDR, got an order for Dunkin'. Guy didn't order anything, but all info was correct. No idea who placed that order.